Hello YouTube, this is AJ here. I haven't uploaded to this channel in a while, but I feel like this has been going on for too long and it's become too much of a serious topic and too much of a big thing for me to just not go by or just go by without even saying anything. And if the title of this video didn't really make it clear enough, I'm going to be talking about the Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot box fiasco and me just being a huge Star Wars fan and, you know, just having such a love for the franchise and Disney and Lucasfilm. Not so much EA, but, you know, I really think it's unfortunate that all these events have been happening over the past couple weeks, you know, with the whole loot box fiasco and it affecting the game community as a whole. It's not just affecting EA, it's affecting a lot of other things too. So if you're not really informed on what's been happening, is what EA is really under fire for is their pay to win monetization loot box things and implemented into their new game that just came out, Battlefront 2. And what this is so you basically can either grind for a great amount of hours and then get what you want, or you can just pay real money and then get what you want without having to really grind for it. But then it just the first signs of this were shown in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta. I even noticed it when I was playing it myself. And the thing is, with people with EA Access, when they first started to get to play the game early, they saw right beginning in the multiplayer, they saw this pay-to-win mechanics, the monetization of their game with loot boxes. And it's really sad, you know. Not only have governments been coming into this whole thing, investigating Electronic Arts for what they've been doing with microtransactions and loot boxes and gambling in video games, EA has been affected as a whole. You know, their stocks have plummeted through the roof. No, they've plummeted through the ground, and it's just been really bad. So when EA first heard of this backlash, they put a post on their EA community team on Reddit, and it became the most downvoted comment ever in Reddit history, with 394,000 downvotes on Reddit. And the first line of this Reddit post just really shows how much they want to get our money, and it's really sad. So the post reads, "The intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes." Not only was this not a thing back in the first Battlefront, you know, you have your base heroes like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett, Leia, and other future ones that came out in expansions. You know, you had the main characters from the trilogy already unlocked. So not only do you have to unlock them now, they were stupidly expensive in order to unlock them. They were like, I believe, around 60 to 80,000 credits. Now they're about 15 to 20,000 credits, and they got a lot of backlash for this. It really made them look like an even worse company than they already are. And to make it even worse, well, they apologized for it, saying, "We've heard the concerns about the potentially giving players unfair advantages," Gabrielson said, "and we've heard that this overshadowing an otherwise great game. This was never our intention. Sorry we didn't get this right." And also, previously the game developers had tried to placate fans by reducing the cost of unlocking hero characters by 75%. So they reduced the cost of unlocking the heroes by 75%. And the in-game purchases, they took those off. So they took out microtransactions, they took out the ability to buy crystals, which were the in-game currency next to credits where you can buy these loot boxes. So you either get in-game credits or you can buy crystals to get these loot boxes, essentially. And Gabrielson said, he is the CEO of EA, and he said they will return at a later date, and only after we've made changes to the game. So it doesn't really look like EA wants to change their greedy ways of trying to get money out of our pockets, even though we've already paid $60 for their game. They just want to have more money coming into them, and they just want to buy a yacht for their yacht, you know. They want to be able to live forever. They want to just be able to throw money everywhere wherever they want to. They just want to do whatever they want with it. They probably aren't even doing anything with it, like donating it to the poor, the needy. They're probably just sitting there in their big high thrones, just throbbing over their money. You know, they're gloating over how much money they have, and they're probably just sitting there laughing like, hoo hoo hoo, we got all this money from these guys, let's see how much more we can get. But that is not what really happened. So, because of all this that's been happening, you know, all the backlash they've been getting, their stocks plummeted through the ground, and their stocks fell 8.5% on a month-to-month date, wiping out $3.1 billion in shareholder value in the process, all thanks to the backlash over Star Wars Battlefront 2. And the giant video game publisher is still having a banner year with shares up to 39% year to date. There is no doubt that the backlash, combined with EA's decision to remove paid loot boxes from the game just hours before launch, rattled shareholders. So when they removed the loot boxes because of the backlash, the shareholders that were getting that have shares of stock in EA, they got pissed off at them. They were like, "Why'd you do this? This was how we were making money off of you guys," and it also affected them. So good for that. So it affected the greedy people, not just EA, but also the greedy people that had stocks in EA. And also, this post I found to be very true. It's from this post from this guy called Viper the Reindeer, Ricky Respawn, and he says, "I think people are missing the point of EA turning off the microtransactions in Star Wars Battlefront 2. It's a PR stunt. They're turning them off on launch, so you'll buy it, and then when they have enough sold, they will bring them back. They even said it's only temporary." And I think that's very true. So they want to basically turn it off, being like, oh, make us think that, oh yeah, you know, it's all going to be fine. They took them off. No, then, but like he said, they're going to bring them back once they sold enough units, once they make their money's worth of the game. And it's not like they've made enough money already over the years, you know, with FIFA being monetized with all these in-game purchases, and Madden as well, you know. And then, so yeah, we can expect these to be back soon, probably by January even, or probably even late December, who knows, but it will probably be soon. But the way they have been getting backlash for this, it doesn't really seem like no one wants the game. I almost bought the game a couple days ago, but because it was on sale. It's already on sale. It was already on sale for $20 off, but I did not. I was like, I'm a Star Wars fan, but I just cannot go with this. I can't support this. I hate that a franchise like this is getting so much backlash for a greedy company. EA really does not deserve the Star Wars license. Like, it's so saddening to see this license and just to see such an iconic name like Star Wars being affected by this. It's not Star Wars' fault, it's greed's fault, and it's EA's fault. No one else to blame. And also, to make things even better, the government, like I said earlier in the video, is becoming involved in this. And if you don't know who was one of the first to become involved in this, his name is Chris Lee, and he is a representative from the state of Hawaii. And he came out with a little press conference talking about how the predatory practices of loot boxes in video games is basically a Star Wars themed slot machine.
This game is a Star Wars themed online casino designed to lure kids into spending money. It's a trap.
And he said, quote unquote, it's a trap. He says that prohibiting the sale of games with loot boxes is a no-brainer, and along with a dozen other politicians, he says, he's thinking of how to put legal controls around video game microtransactions. So he wants to basically make microtransactions be gambling and make it an age restriction of 21, to where you have to be 21 in order to do in-game microtransactions, because he wants to make him seem like gambling. And also, Chris Lee, he's also been affected by microtransactions. He said that back in 2014, he downloaded the game Clash of Clans to pass the time between group meetings, and he said he would find himself. He said, at one point, I started buying crystals. I ended up spending a few $100s over the course of a few months, and this is in Clash of Clans. Once he realized what he'd done, Lee deleted the game, and he felt that the game's microtransaction mechanics had snuck up on him without warning. At once he deleted Clash of Clans, he said, there's no value left. It's just money lost. So even in our own government, we have been affected by microtransactions in mobile games. Mobile games are one of the main reasons or main places of microtransactions taking place. And yeah, so Chris Lee, he's looking to put a bill in Congress to pass a law that you must be 21, and that in-game microtransactions are considered gambling, and you have to be 21 in order to use microtransactions in video games. And to make matters even worse, there is this Reddit user by the name of Ken's Gold talking about how he spent over $15,000 on microtransactions. And this all started back in 2013 when he was about 13 years old, and he only had about $30 a month to spend on microtransactions. And it just basically talks about how his microtransaction addicted started, and how it just became so bad that he eventually got 2 jobs just so he could spend all the money on microtransactions. He said he spent about 90% of his paychecks on microtransactions, and even his mom and his family tried to cut him off from the internet so it would stop his addiction, but he bypassed that, using his phone's 3G. And he wrote this on Reddit, going out to the people at EA, saying microtransactions do affect people who have an addiction for it. And he said that you have to take this away because of people like me. It really affects people. It can affect people's personal lives with their family, their financial situations, and just overall them as a person. And he said that it's really a bad situation, and you guys really need to rethink of how to do these things in your games, because it affects people seriously. It affects their lives. And also, there are many countries besides the United States investigating microtransactions in video games. There's also Australia, Belgium that are investigating this, and it's becoming really scary. The government has always stayed away from our video games, and if the government regulates our video games, it could become really bad, because then they're going to implement laws that say, oh, you can't have certain things like this in video games, or you can't show enough blood, or you can't show too much blood or gore in video games. If the government really butts in, it could really change the gaming industry forever. Even just this event that has been happening over the past couple weeks is going to leave a big mark on the gaming industry forever. This is going to go in gaming history. And that is, that's me saying all the facts, but being such a Star Wars fan, I've been a Star Wars fan ever since I can remember, watching A New Hope. A New Hope was the first Star Wars movie I watched, and I've just always loved the series. The Star Wars inspired me to do what I want to do, and what I want to do is make movies. I want to make people smile. I want to tell people a story through a screen. I want my name on the big screen, directed by me. And I really, really think someone else deserves the Star Wars license, not EA. Someone good, someone better, who actually dives into single-player games. Like, with them shutting down Visceral Games and the linear-based Star Wars game, it pissed me the hell off, because they said that nobody likes linear games like they did 5 or 10 years ago. Then why did Uncharted 4 win Game of the Year? Then why did Zelda come out? Why did Mario Odyssey come out? Why did Horizon Zero Dawn come out? Why is The Last of Us 2 coming out? Why is Fallout 4 still around? Why are all these games? Why did Doom come out? Why did Skyrim come out? Why has Skyrim why have all these games been remastered on the next gen consoles, and why are they still so relevant? There are still people playing Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, for Christ's sakes. Me myself, I'm still playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and I beat the hell out of that game. And I love Uncharted. Uncharted is my favorite game series of all time. Like, I don't know where they got this idea that nobody likes single player games anymore. The only reason they probably said it is because we can't really make money off these single player games because there's no multiplayer aspect to them unless we implement it. And I really think this is horrible. You know, I could only imagine with someone like Bethesda or CG Projekt Red with or even Insomniac, who's making the new Spider-Man game, which I'm so excited for. I can only imagine them with the Star Wars license. Imagine a game like The Witcher 3, or even CD Projekt Red's upcoming game, Cyberpunk 2077, with the Star Wars license. Imagine a game like The Witcher, but Star Wars. It would be insane. It would be like KOTOR all over again. Or even like, what's it called? Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Star Wars The Force Unleashed was one of the best Star Wars single player games next to KOTOR and KOTOR 2. My god. Like, that's a game that we need, like, again. We need, like, KOTOR or good Star Wars Battlefront, like the Star Wars Battlefront on the PS1 and PS2. I mean, it's insane. Like, we really need to get this Star Wars license away from EA, because they really seem like they aren't changing. Like, they've made minor updates to the game where you get a little bit more credits. They made the heroes a little bit more cheaper, but that's it. They haven't really done much to fix it. They really don't care. They really aren't listening to us. Apparently losing money, and because, you know, that's the main thing they want is money. Losing money and having governments investigating them for their predatory practices with loot boxes is not enough to send the message through. And not only they say they're listening to the fans, apparently all of our Backlash, they aren't listening. They don't get the point that we don't want microtransactions. We just want a full game when we buy it for $60. Like, seriously. And even all of this bad name coming to the Star Wars license, and Disney also intervening with it, and also with The Last Jedi coming out in a couple days, I'm just going to try to stop thinking about all this that has been happening. I'm just going to go on Thursday with my buds and go enjoy Star Wars The Last Jedi. Hopefully it's good. I think it'll be good. Anyways, this is AJ or Christian from Watermelon Shotgun. That's my channel that I have with my buddies where we do challenges and we do crazy stuff. So I can link that down below in the description if you want to go check it out. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want, comment down below what you think of all the Star Wars fiasco and with EA and the loot boxes. And go watch Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's going to be amazing, you know. It's the movie of the year. It's the movie to go to. It'll be fun, you know. It'll bring joy this Christmas, during Christmas time. And this is a time to be happy. You know, we can't be worrying about all this. This is just me, one fan, venting his frustrations with what's been happening. So go watch Star Wars. May the Force be with you. Have a great day. Go check out my other channel, Watermelon Shotgun. I'll have it linked down below in the description. Comment below what you think about this, and have a great day.